Somebody come save me. Marites is all over the internet. Marites is all over my house, eating all of my food. Listen, y'all gonna have to come help me. I am trying to move on from this. And so Marites just keeps saying, come on, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. I'm like, let's move on from this. It is time for something new. Let's move on to the new thing, to the next thing. No, Marites says we need to take a look back at 2020, Miss Grand International. And I'm like, why? We're gonna piss people off. She said, just analyze it. All right, so here we go. Let's just take a look at Miss Grand International 2020.
Thank you very much. I will choose to give it to the 16-year-old only because I believe that children are the future. They are going to make the world a better place. They are the ones that are going to set examples for the future generation. And I believe that I will give it to the 16-year-old because I want the 16-year-old to have a better future in life. I believe that they are going to change the world. We need change for our world. Poke Rao.พวกเราท่องกันสันติภาพรักคุณมากทั่วโลกของเราขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you.
Well, the question was, if there was only one vaccine left and there was an older person and a younger person, who would you give that particular vaccine to? And when you listen at pageants, they typically say the same line. And so in her case, she decided to give it to, I think it was the 16-year-old or whatever the part of that question was. And so they always say the children are the future, blah, 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 blah. It is just a very generic, it's a very safe answer. Not a very dramatic answer in my book, but she answered the question nonetheless. So, and then at the end, with this being a tie-based pageant, thank you for that reminder. With this being a tie-based pageant, she definitely wanted to say something tie at the end. Either it's to bait you, or it is to really to show gratitude to the tie organizers. Well, which one do you think it is, right? So let's take a look at Miss Philippines.
Next to answer, Miss Grand.
And as a side note, both of them studied at the HK camp in the Philippines.
My heart goes to senior citizen because my mom is turning senior citizen and I experienced the loss of my dad 4 years ago and I cannot afford to lose my mom. My heart goes to them because they are the most vulnerable during this time. A 15-year-old has the stamina to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, and with proper exercise and healthy living, they can live with it. I know as well that every citizen here will choose and never afford to lose their parents. And so I will choose senior citizen.
She stabs you right in the heart with that answer because number one, she's already experienced the pain of losing a parent. So her answer was she would give it to her mom. And what a very impactful answer. Like I said, it's kind of like, she goes right for the heart, man. And so you can definitely see the depth of her answer. Because and then she explains why she would not give it to the 15-year-old. So she answers, she explains the question just very succinctly in just a matter of, 15, 20 seconds. And who wants to explain, who wants to lose a parent? And in that moment, is really pulling at the humanity of everyone in that audience, because no one wants to think about that. And then on the flip side, if you have experienced that, then you understand the pain of that. And she's right there with you. And so it is just like, like I said, she goes straight for the heart on that one. And that one kind of tugs at my heart because I almost lost my dad 2 years ago as well. And so that's kind of one of those answers that you don't really want to talk about. And she almost kind of seemed like she almost kind of teared up a little bit. but she made it through that answer in this absolutely gorgeous gown. But the depth, if you want to talk about English, sort of having that command of the English language, even though Miss USA has a command of the English language, if you listen at their answers, we go from a very generic answer, oh, the children are our future, blah, 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 blah. And then what Miss Philippines does is she says who she would give it to, why she would not give it to them, why she would not give it to the other person. And then she brings it back. And so I'm not sure if that's that Filipino template, how they train, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but both Miss USA and Miss Philippines studied at the same camp in the Philippines. So, which is kind of unique. So because I've only been doing this a short time, I didn't know about that until recently, and so but the answers are totally different. So, and if we want to talk about if it is the training, it is the training, but it also takes that person to internalize the questions and really draw from experiences that they have, and then give you an answer. You can train them. It's kind of like a job interview almost, where you want to give the best answer in the shortest amount of time. And I'm not going to take a listen at the third contestant here, but if you're just looking at these two, so having even though being born in the U.S. and having a command of the English language, that doesn't necessarily qualify you to give the best answers. So that would be sort of my analysis on that. So Marites, stop bugging me about this. So hey guys, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for commenting, and thank you for giving me different avenues to go look at. I really do appreciate that. You guys take care of yourself. Peace.